Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. What's happening? It's getting yummy for the tummy. China and the EU intensified trade talks about EU tariffs and export controls. China's Ministry of Commerce said on Friday it held talks on Friday today, well, this is yesterday in China, on tariffs imposed on Chinese-made electric vehicles, as well as broader economic and trade relations. Yes, we're getting closer to a deal. This is why I've always said minor speed bumps on this channel, minor speed bumps. Minister of Commerce Wang Wentao spoke with European Commissioner for Trade and Economic Security Maros Sefcovic, on Thursday about trade remedy cases, which included anti-subsidy investigation into electric vehicles, export controls and market access. We all remember last October, China had proposed setting in a minimum price of 30,000 euros for Chinese-made electric vehicles sold in Europe. However, the EU rejected the proposal, arguing that the problem went beyond the pricing and insisting on the state subsidies that distort fair competition in the European market. Chinese brands doubled their share of the European car market in April despite tariffs. Let me say that again. Chinese brands doubled their share of the European car market in April despite tariffs that can be as high as 35% for some manufacturers, including SAIC Group, which owns the MG brand. And imagine that, guys, with 35% tariffs, Chinese brands are still doubling their sales in Europe. What does that tell you? Well, the world already understands and knows. It is superior technology, and Europeans love superior tech. According to data released, and they are used to luxury cars. According to data released this week by research from Jato Dynamics, the ministry said on Friday that both China and the EU, that's this Friday, today, agreed to pull in the same direction and make preparations for the trade and economic front for key agendas between China and the EU this year. I still think Europe is waiting to see what their Washington masters do, but perhaps not, since the orange pussycat is pushing them back into China's arms, which is playing perfectly into my book. Earlier this month, as Minister Wang met with Sefcovic in France, a statement by MOFCOM stated that negotiations took a big step forward in the right direction of a proper resolution. And that big step forward no doubt came from the retaliatory tariffs that China placed. In respect of national laws and World Trade Organization rules, they said, China has agreed to fast-track approvals for qualified rare earth exports to Europe. Yes, because they also need the rare earth materials. If you don't allow our cars to come in, you don't get the rare earth materials. You can't have your X-ray machines, you can't have your TVs, you can't have your laptops. How should we dump our rare earth materials on you? You said you didn't want dumping of cheap materials. It says, which had been restricted in May in retaliation against new US tariffs. The talks on Thursday took place just days after the Financial Times reported that the EU refused to hold an important economic meeting with Beijing ahead of next month's Leaders' Summit. The media outlet cited several sources familiar with the matter, who said that progress on several trade disputes had stalled at that time. China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Gu Jiaokun reacted to the report on Tuesday, stating that deepening dialogue and cooperation between China and the EU benefits both sides. It will benefit investors, it will benefit consumers, it will benefit the world. Gu pointed out that global relations are becoming increasingly turbulent, with rising unilateralism and economic bullying. Now, there was a time when you would say China was doing that. Now China has become the free market, the free economy, the free country, with the West ever increasingly becoming totalitarian. It is very sad. Last year, the EU imposed tariffs on Chinese electric vehicle imports after determining the industry received significant government subsidies, which led to unfair trade in the region. But it's okay when Tesla and the rest get unfair subsidies. They must do what their Washington masters tell them. In April, as Trump new tariffs took place, EU Trade Commissioner Sefcovic and China's Commerce Minister Wang agreed to investigate the possibility of setting minimum prices for the imported EVs as an alternative to tariffs. So after the Orange Pussycat attacked Europe, it was only then Europe decided, let's sit with the Chinese. So now they said that they're pushing forward yet again. And it's getting even closer to a deal with the Europeans. This will create a beautiful environment for investors and consumers alike. I hope you guys found this video yet again on a Friday to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. So guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the game is played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.